Assalamu alaikum. Welcome to our Ramadan show. I will be your host Abida, and we have Munja, who is our Scout Beaver leader, and our Beaver Hiba. We're going to be starting off the show with a Quran recitation by Hiba. Oh, Hiba, you're mute. Do you want to unmute yourself?
Assalamu alaikum everyone. I hope you are looking forward to our Ramadan session. I am going to recite Surah Ash-Shams. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الشمس وضحاها والقمر إذا تلاها والنهار إذا جلاها والليل إذا يغشاها والسماء بناها والأرض وما طحاها ونفس وما سواها فألهمها فجورها وتقواها قد أفلح من زكاها وقد خاب من دساها كذبت ثمود بطغواها إذ بعث أشقاها فقال لهم رسول الله ناقة الله وسقياها فكذبوه فعقروها فدمدم عليهم ربهم بذنبهم فسواها ولا يخاف عقباها.
Well done, Hiba. Assalamu alaikum, everyone. Thank you for that, Hiba. So, Hiba, would you like to introduce our Beaver's Promise?
Promises are very important. We must keep our promises and never break them. Beaver Scouts have a promise. We will now play a clip of one of our beavers making the promise.
I promise to do my best and to be kind and helpful and to love Allah.
So that is our Beaver Scout promise. Beaver is one of the section in Scouts, the youngest group. So our Scout Atheist London has started since 2009, and Alhamdulillah, we have been going 12 years strong. We have 3 different groups: Beavers, Cubs, and Scouts. Beavers are from the age of 6 to 8. Cubs are 8 to 11, 10 and a half, and then we've got the Scouts visit, which is up to the age of 14. So we have these 3 groups. I have started Scouts as a young leader, then moving on to be a leader and starting our first Beaver group for the past 2.5 years. And the activities we do is, our Beaver's most favorite activity is the cooking badge. Recently, we did a cooking activity over Zoom where we made a banana bread, and the Beavers enjoyed it a lot. So we have a cooking clip done by our Beaver Sulema of how to make a banana bread.
Assalamu alaikum. My name is Sulema and I will be showing you how to make a banana bread. To make the cake, you will need flour, 2 large eggs, brown sugar, oil, cinnamon, baking powder, and 2 bananas. First, peel the bananas and mush them up with a fork. finished mushing your bananas up, next you get your 2 large eggs cracked, and then now you take your fork out and then add the eggs slowly. Next, add the brown sugar. And then add your oil, and now mix it all together. Whoa. Now add the flour. Then add the baking powder. Then the cinnamon. And then mix. Keep mixing until everything is smooth. Once you're finished mixing, get an adult to pour it into the tin. Now you have to bake in the oven for 40 minutes.
So that is how you make a very simple banana bread. Thank you to Sulema for making such an amazing video. Talking about food, we have an amazing competition, a cook-off. So here we have a family cook-off. It's a very fun family competition where you can share your amazing iftar dishes. So, we have the 3 prizes. So the first prize is £100. Second prize is £50. Third prize is £25 gift vouchers. And you have until the deadline for this is until next week on the 30th April. And how to enter, you can upload your picture to the following email, atheistlondon@gmail.com. So hopefully you guys win.
Okay, so Hiba, on to the next part of our program. Would you like to introduce it?
In Beavers, we like to have fun. Do you like to have fun? Maybe we can make you laugh with some jokes.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. Ramadan Mubarak. I will be sharing with you 2 jokes. Joke number 1. Why did a beaver cross the river? To go to the other side of the river. Joke number 2. What does a polite monster say to you when he meets you? Pleased to meet you! What do you call a dog that falls out of a tree? A chihuahua. What does a duck have with cheese? Quackers. Knock knock.
Who's there?
Interrupting cow.
The interrupting cow.
Moo! Why did the banana go to the doctor? It wasn't peeling well. Knock knock.
Who's there?
Cows go.
Cows go who?
No, cows go moo. Knock knock.
Who's there?
Justin.
Justin who?
Just in time for lunch. What time do you go to the dentist? 2:30. Where do beavers keep their money? In a riverbank. Thank you for watching. Assalamu alaikum.
Well, I hope you all enjoyed those jokes. I certainly did. And in fact, if you think you do better than that, why not submit some jokes to us? using the chat function on YouTube or Facebook, and maybe we'll pick out some later on for to read out and see if everyone likes those. Okay, so moving on to the next part of our program, we're going to have something called puzzle time. So this is where you can take part and submit your answers to some questions we're going to pose you. Okay, so the first part of it is to do with, onto the next slide, geography. So we'd like you to take a look at this map, and I think some of you will be very good at this. I think you will know some of the answers here. So what I'd like you to do is on your, however you're connecting, if you could name those continents for us in your message. So try and do it in one single message. Say to us what number 1 is, what number 2 is, and then hit reply. And I should mention also that there are prizes on offer here, so I hope you take part. So what we'll do is we'll see who gets back to us with their answers and who's doing really well, and we'll give some prizes at the end. So I'll give you a little bit of time to look through those. So try and list those out for us, number 1, number 2, and so on, and you can provide us those answers. I'm thinking this should be really easy for a lot of you, but if you want any clues, maybe you could have a think about where we live, whereabouts we are on the map, and what number that is, which continent we're in, maybe where the cold part of the map is and what continent that might be. Oh, great, we've got some responses coming through.
I think we have our first winner.
Great, well done to those people submitting their answers through. I like how, Eamon, you've replied with the numbers to point out which ones they are. That's really good. Great, okay, I think, have you had enough time on that one?
Yeah, I think we
Yeah?
do. Yeah.
Okay, so let's move on to our next puzzle. On to the next slide. This is it. So this is a bit more fun, less serious here. So I'm sure all of you like a bit of TV now and then, not too much, of course, but have a look at these pictures and try and figure out which show they're from. So some of them we haven't put the words in, otherwise it'll be far too easy. But have a look through to see which cartoons they're from, and then reply to us to say which shows they're from. So number 1, which show is that from? It looks like, is that a bone there at the bottom of the picture? And number 2, what's that? Maybe you can, if you want to get really really good, you can maybe tell us which characters those different color faces under number 2, who they belong to. And then number 3, what's that? It looks like a tentacled sea creature, maybe. Yeah. And I think some of these pictures are quite easy. They're just zoomed in, so but maybe you can figure out which character they are and what show they're from. Ah, yes, we've got some people giving their answers through, looking good.
We've got so many coming through.
Well done. I think you've cracked this one. I think that was quite easy for you. Great, okay. Shall we move on to our next slide? Actually, we're still getting a few answers through, but yeah, if you still typing, finish typing and hit send. Great, well done. I think we've got lots of answers for those. I think people like the cartoon question very much.
It's for everyone to play. If you take a guess, it's fine. It's it's a guessing game. It can be quite tricky to find out which cartoon or which country or continent that a place is, but it's for all to play. So just jot down your ideas, your answers.
Great. Okay. Shall we move on to the next puzzle? Right. Okay. So now on to some literature. So I hope you guys all like reading. Hope you're all fond of your bedtime stories. I know Hiva is. She's becoming a bit of a bookworm. She likes to read her chapter books, working her way through here. But here we've got some famous titles, but we've hidden some of the letters. A little clue here, we've removed the vowels. Can you reply to us and tell us what the full names of each of these books are? Have a look through and figure out, see if you can figure out what they are. There's some classics there. There's a traditional tale there. Have a look through to see if you can figure what those could be, and then reply to us, and let's see how you get on with that.
It seems quite difficult, but think about all the maybe famous books that you may know that you read a lot, maybe in school or your parents read to you. Maybe the parents, you might know what the answers are, reading the books to your child, or if you're a teacher, reading it to your class. If you see your child struggling, maybe you can help them, give a vowel or two, what word it is.
Hiba, is this a tricky one, do you think?
I think I can do it.
Yeah, you think you can do it?
Yeah.
Okay. Have you got a favourite book? What's your favourite book at the minute? I think you like Daisy.
Daisy book.
Yeah, the Daisy books. Daisy's not one of those, unfortunately, but yeah, it's a good book there. Okay, well done for the few of you who have replied through. Ah, very good. Yep, they're coming through now. It just takes a little while to type up, I'm sure. Ah, yes, well done. Yes, so I'm seeing lots of right answers through. So we'll take a look at those. Yes, Khadijah's been very responsive with the answers, very competitive, very eager to get the answers in. Well done, Khadijah. And Muhammad as well. Yes, Muhammad Rob. Yes, I think you guys have cracked this one. Yes, you've done very well on this one as well. I thought this one might be a bit tricky, but well done to you all.
You've got a smart bunch here. Clever group.
Or maybe have a library next to you. How have you got all these right, hey? Right. Yes, and I think yes. We'll go through the answers at the end, by the way. So if you're not too sure, if you got stuck on any of them, we'll let you know. Great. Okay. Shall we move on to the next slide?
Yep.
Right. I think this one might be a little bit tricky for you, so I'll try and help you out here. So we've got different countries. Obviously, each country has a flag. So what I'd like you to answer is, which countries do these flags belong to? I think you might know a couple of them. Well, you might get stuck on some of them. But have a think. Maybe ask a grown-up or older brother or sister to help you out if you get stuck. Oh, Ayman has been very quick with the answer here. Maybe it's because we said that Khadija was really quick with the answers. You've come back super fast this time around.
Competitive.
Ah, yes. Ayman saying first to response. Yeah, you were first. Oh, yes. So I think actually, maybe, yeah. So some of you know this very well. Okay. For those who are a bit stuck, I'll give you a clue. So you might be looking at answers already. For example, number 3, that looks like a Muslim country, doesn't it? Which Muslim country could that belong to? Which country would have like the Shahada on their flag? And then number 5, popular holiday destination for people. You might know that one. Number 6, I think you should know. That's very, I'll give you a clue. It's very close to home, if you get what I mean. And number 1, it's not Tower Hamlets. That's my clue for that one, okay? Okay?
Well
Very
done,
good.
all of you, for trying, attempting. That's what we like, trying.
Excellent. Yeah, we've got answers from Parveen and Marjana as well. Excellent. Okay. Right, we've got one more puzzle for you, the last one. So hopefully you guys can finish strong and we'll see how you guys do. Okay, can we have the next puzzle up? This should be, maybe actually, you should be okay with this. But which route leads you to the masjid here? Can you follow the strings or the pathways and tell us which path brings you to the masjid? I think Eamon is very keen to win this, win something, win the prize. Very quick with the answers there. Yeah, we've got some right answers.
Follow along with the line. Which one goes to the mosque?
Right. Well done. Yes, there's some good answers there. I think everyone is oh, I see. Okay. Ayman is explaining that he's doing it with his younger sister Salema, who you just saw in the clip doing the banana bread. Okay, so that's why he's helping her out. That's very kind of you, Ayman. Salema is one of our beavers, as you just saw. Okay, right. So shall we move on to our? No, that was our last puzzle. So well done everyone for taking part. What we'll do is we'll have a look at through the responses and we'll choose some winners or prizes to award for some of the participants. But I hope you've enjoyed that session, and we'll go through we'll go through the answers. I mustn't forget that in case you were stuck wondering what the answers were for some of them. Should we go through those now? Right. Okay. Continents. I think a lot of you got this, got most of them right. I think you got the continents down. Maybe it'd be good to point out which one belonged to which country to say which number was which. Is this an easy one, Hiba? Do you think? Hiba's got a song that she sings. That's how she memorizes the continents. So that's one way you can remember them. Okay, the next answer was for the cartoon character ones. Can we have a look at that? Right, okay. I think you all got this right because yeah, I think you all got this right. You know your cartoons very well. Right. So I think you saw that the first one was Paw Patrol, second was PJ Masks, third one was Octonauts, fourth one Peppa Pig. I'm sure you can tell from the picture there. Peter Rabbit. Peter Rabbit. The clue there was he's holding a radish. Yes, and he likes radishes, as Hiba says. So that's why you might have figured out if you couldn't figure out straight away that was Peter Rabbit, and because Peter Rabbit's fond of radish. The last one was Hey Dougie. Okay, Hiba, do you know the names of the different PJ Masks? Which one's the blue one?
Catboy.
Okay. Red one?
Owlet.
The green one?
Getter.
I'll take your word for it. I presume that's right. Okay. Right. The next answer. Can we have the next answer on screen, please? Aha. Right. Hiba, did you get all these?
Yeah.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Okay. Can you read them out for our viewers, please?
The Gruffalo.
Yep.
Number 2, Nico and Ali for the Prophet. Number 3, Little Red Riding Hood. Number 4, The Enormous Crocodile. Number 5, the hungry caterpillar. And number 6, the Quran.
Yes, we couldn't leave the Quran off the list, could we? So I hope you got that one. If you got any wrong, but you got Quran right, then you're a winner. Okay. Right. So next answer, please. Right. So here we got. I think you all got this right. This one must have been too easy for you all. But yes, the answer was A. So A was the route bringing you to the masjid. Okay. Right, so that was our puzzle time. I hope you all enjoyed that. We've got the next part of our program now, which Hiba will introduce. Right, so Hiba, can you introduce the next part of our show, please?
I hope you have enjoyed the session so far. I don't know about you, but I love stories. You can use your imagination and learn a lot. Would you like to listen to a story now? Perfect. Here's a story about one of the prophets.
Have you heard the story of Ibrahim alayhi salam?
Yes.
Oh, for those of you that haven't, let me tell you. Ibrahim alayhi salam was born at a time when some people thought the stars, planets, sun and moon were God. Some thought that statues that they made from wood and stones was God, and some people even thought that kings were God. Ibrahim alayhi salam was very special because Allah had made him the most clever little boy. Even when he was a very little boy, he found it very funny that people could pray to things that they had made with their own hands, things like we might make now with blocks or clay. Even when he grew up, he thought it was not right, because he thought to himself that if something can't get back up when you knock it down, it can't be God. One night, Ibrahim alayhi salam went to a cave in a mountain to sit and think. He knew for sure that God isn't made from stones or wood. He saw a star in the dark night sky and said to the people that it must be God. But then the star went away, and so he said it couldn't be. Then he saw the moon and he said it must be God. But then the moon went away, and so he said it couldn't be. Then he saw the sun and he said this one is greater, so it might be God. But then the sun went away, and so he said it couldn't be. Ibrahim alayhi salam told the people what all this means. The stars, moon, planets and sun are not Allah. They are made by Allah and come in front of our eyes and disappear again, because Allah makes them do that. Allah does not disappear. He is there forever, and He is always there. The people who worshipped the planets and stars were very angry. Even his father was angry, because he used to make the statues that they prayed to with his own hands. But Ibrahim alayhi salam prayed to Allah to forgive him and tried to talk to the people. He was very strong in believing that nothing could happen to him unless Allah wanted it. So he wasn't scared of anybody or anything. Ibrahim alayhi salam tried to make everyone see that these statues cannot be God, because they cannot do anything for the people. They can't even see. But they just wouldn't listen. So one day he went to the temple where their gods were with an axe, and he smashed all of them, except for the biggest one, whose neck he hung his axe on. When the people found the broken statues, they were absolutely furious. They guessed it must have been Ibrahim alayhi salam, so they went to ask him. Ibrahim alayhi salam told them to ask their gods, because he knew that everyone knows they can't even speak. Then he told them it must have been the biggest statue that smashed all the smaller ones. He knew that the people would realize the biggest statue can't do that, and if he can't really be a god. So the people decided to throw Ibrahim alayhi salam into a fire. They made a very, very huge, enormous, raging fire. They tied up Ibrahim alayhi salam, ready to throw him in. The angel Gabriel alayhi salam came to him and asked if he needed anything. Ibrahim alayhi salam was not scared because he trusted Allah, and he said he didn't need anything from Gabriel. Then they threw Ibrahim alayhi salam into the fire. Allah has power over all things. He can even make fire cool, and that's what he did for Ibrahim alayhi salam. He told the fire to be cool and safe for him. So Ibrahim alayhi salam sat in the fire, just as if it were a nice garden. He thanked Allah and felt a lot of love for Allah. He didn't even feel scared or worried. He just felt love. The people who had tried to burn him had been standing around the fire, and they could feel how hot it was, because it was only cool for Ibrahim alayhi salam. So when they saw him come out of the fire completely fine, as if he had walked out of a garden, they were astonished. They absolutely could not believe their eyes. After that, many people secretly believed Ibrahim alayhi salam, but the king Nimrod was furious because he wanted people to believe that he was God. Ibrahim alayhi salam became very famous, but still most people were angry and didn't believe him. His wife believed him, and one man believed him. His name was Lut alayhi salam, and he became a prophet. They all left and went to travel to different lands. Ibrahim alayhi salam had a baby called Ismail alayhi salam, who also became a prophet. One day, Ibrahim alayhi salam asked Allah to show him how he can bring a dead thing back to life. So Allah showed him by making 4 dead birds come to life and fly to him. He spent his days worshipping Allah.
So that was a lovely story read by our Scout Beaver leader, Rihanna, Usada Rihanna, and as you heard, she was talking about the Prophet Ibrahim, alayhi salam. So that is the end of our show, but we will be here again the next 2 Sundays at the same time at 5 p.m. So make sure you tune in. And also, if you have joined the competition for the cook-off, don't worry, you still have time. You've got until next Friday. You can have it cooked or baked. It can be sweet, savory, anything you want to cook. We have so many competitors, and the dishes all look amazing. So you can cook anything that you like, anything you're amazing at, before Friday, and we will announce the winners in next week's show at 5 o'clock. So make sure you tune in and make sure you listen out if you hear your name. Oh, you are muted.
Sorry, thank you for that. So we've just still got a little bit of time to announce the winners of the puzzle time. So well done, all of you. I think did really well on the puzzles and getting the answers right. I think we can announce that Khadija Islam, Ayman Ahmed, and Abdul Mia will receive a prize for their participation. So if you could kindly email into atheistlondon@gmail.com with your contact details, then we'll make sure we get a prize to you. Okay. So thank you everyone for taking part. I also liked all the comments that we got through. I'm glad you enjoyed it, and yeah, I think it's been really kind of you to send so many positive messages through. Okay. So yes, as the reader says, we're back here next week on Sunday at 5 o'clock. So see you then. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah.
Assalamu alaikum.